Attention, Steelers fans. What just came to light could completely change the future of the team. The NFL draft is approaching, and everything pointed to Pittsburgh having a clear plan until a report shook things up. Are we about to witness the riskiest decision in years? Stay until the end, because this story has a shocking twist. Since the season ended, the Steelers have been at a crossroads with the quarterback position. Kenny Pickett, once seen as the team's future, had an inconsistent campaign. His performance raised doubts, and while there were flashes of talent, the front office isn't convinced he's the long-term solution. The options in free agency aren't promising. Signing a veteran would only be a temporary fix, with no guarantee of finding a leader who can take them to glory. That's why the draft seemed like the only viable solution, but here's where things get complicated. According to analyst Kyle Krabs, the Steelers might make a surprising first-round decision, selecting quarterback Jackson Dart, a name that wasn't on many radars, but one that is quickly gaining traction in draft reports. Dart is a quarterback with a powerful arm and mobility that could fit perfectly in Arthur Smith's offensive scheme. But there's a problem: his inconsistency under pressure. He has shown accuracy issues when the defense closes in, something that can be lethal in the NFL. Is he worth the risk? Looking at Dart's stats, we find numbers that both excite and raise concerns. In his last season, he threw for 3,364 yards with 26 touchdowns and just 7 interceptions. A solid performance, but with a concerning 63% completion rate. Can he improve this against elite defenses? The Steelers have had bad experiences in the past with high-risk quarterback picks. However, on the flip side, a QB with star potential can change a franchise's fate. Remember what Patrick Mahomes or Josh Allen did when few believed in them. If Dart follows that path, Pittsburgh could be securing its future. But here's the big twist. According to sources close to the team, selecting Dart might not be the only bombshell the Steelers are preparing. Rumors suggest the franchise could use their first-round pick as a trade asset to move up in the draft and land an even more explosive quarterback. We're talking about the possibility of a bold move to get an elite QB. This would be an unprecedented move for the Steelers, who in recent years have opted for safe picks instead of risky plays. If the front office makes this decision, we could be witnessing a new era in Pittsburgh, one where they are willing to do whatever it takes to compete for a Super Bowl. If the Steelers decide not to gamble on Dart, there are other interesting options in the draft. Some analysts mention Michael Penix Jr., a quarterback with more experience and an elite arm, though durability concerns linger. Another name is Bo Nix, who has demonstrated leadership and consistency, but lacks the athletic ceiling of other prospects. There's also the possibility that Pittsburgh chooses to strengthen their offensive line before taking a risk on a quarterback. Without a solid O-line, any QB will struggle, something we've already seen in previous seasons. Analysts are divided on this potential decision. Some believe selecting a first-round quarterback is necessary to compete with teams like the Bengals and Ravens. Others argue the franchise should focus on other areas before committing to another young QB. Former quarterback and current analyst Kurt Warner recently said, Pittsburgh needs a clear offensive identity before going after a QB. If they don't have a system that supports his development, they'll repeat past mistakes. On the other hand, NFL Network's Daniel Jeremiah stated, if the Steelers believe in a quarterback in this draft, they must do whatever it takes to secure him. They can't afford to fall behind in the AFC North. Now the question is for you. Steelers fans, would you be on board with a risky pick like Jackson Dart? Or do you think Pittsburgh should go after a more proven quarterback? Or do you prefer a blockbuster trade that could bring in a superstar? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because this decision could define the team's future. What's happening in Pittsburgh could change everything. A surprising twist in the quarterback situation has fans in shock. The question is, could the solution to the team's most important position arrive in a way no one expected? The latest revelation could completely reshape the future of the Steelers. #, the problem that can't be ignored. It's a fact. The Steelers have been struggling with instability at the quarterback position for years. Since Ben Roethlisberger's retirement, the franchise has tried multiple options, but none have been the definitive solution. Kenny Pickett has shown flashes of brilliance, but his inconsistency and injuries have raised concerns. Mitch Trubisky and Mason Rudolph weren't the answer either. Rumors surrounding Justin Fields have been intense. The former Bears quarterback could be an intriguing option, but there's a problem: his contract situation and the uncertainty of whether Chicago would actually let him go. Even if they did, Pittsburgh wouldn't be the only team interested. And this is where a name appears that no one expected. A name that, despite his age, could still change the course of a franchise. #, #, the bombshell. Aaron Rodgers to Pittsburgh? Yes, you heard that right. Aaron Rodgers, the future Hall of Famer, could be on the Steelers' radar. A recent report from DraftKings Sportsbook has listed Pittsburgh as the favorite to land the legendary quarterback if the New York Jets decide to move on from him. According to betting odds, the Steelers lead with 2-1 odds, followed by the Raiders 3-1 and Vikings 4-1. If this move actually happens, it would mark a radical shift in the team's expectations. Despite his Achilles injury in 2023, Rodgers has made it clear that he's not done with football and wants to return stronger than ever. Could Pittsburgh be the perfect destination for his last dance in the NFL? #, the doubts and risks. Of course, not everyone is convinced. Rodgers is 41 years old, and his health is a real concern. Plus, the Steelers have been building a young and competitive team. Does a veteran of his caliber fit into that philosophy? Pittsburgh's offensive line has shown improvement, but can they protect a quarterback with a history of injuries? And more importantly, what happens to Kenny Pickett if Rodgers joins the team? But despite all these concerns, there's one factor we can't ignore: Mike Tomlin. #, the major twist. If there's one coach who knows how to manage veteran stars and maximize their remaining talent, it's Tomlin. He did it with Ben Roethlisberger in his final years. He's done it with legendary defenders like Cameron Hayward. Could he do the same with Rodgers? And here's the shocking part. According to inside reports, Rodgers' relationship with the Jets has quickly deteriorated. The chances of New York releasing or trading him are growing, and the Steelers could be the ideal destination. Pittsburgh values experience at quarterback, and Rodgers could be the missing piece to return them to the AFC elite. #, the big question. Will the Steelers take the risk? Now, the decision is in the hands of the franchise. Will they gamble on their future by bringing in a legendary quarterback in his final years, hoping for an immediate impact? Or will they continue to invest in a young quarterback like Pickett or Fields? NFL history has shown that sometimes the boldest moves lead to greatness. Remember when Tom Brady left the Patriots for Tampa Bay? No one saw it coming, and he ended up winning another Super Bowl. Could Rodgers pull off something similar in Pittsburgh? #, what do you think, Steelers Nation? Now, it's your turn to weigh in. Do you believe Aaron Rodgers could be the key to bringing Pittsburgh back to the Super Bowl? Or is it an unnecessary risk for a franchise focused on building its future? Could Micah Parsons be the key piece to bringing the Pittsburgh Steelers back to the elite of the NFL? The 2025 offseason is taking an unexpected turn, and rumors of a potential blockbuster trade between the Dallas Cowboys and the Pittsburgh Steelers are shaking up the entire league. In a surprising twist, it has been revealed that internal discussions about Parsons' future have emerged within the Cowboys organization. While no formal talks with other teams have taken place, league insiders, including reporters Ian Rappaport and Tom Pelissero, have mentioned that Dallas is considering two options: offering Parsons a massive contract extension or trading him for a king's ransom. This news has sparked a wave of speculation across the football world, placing the Steelers as a potential landing spot for this young defensive phenom. Micah Parsons, who has been a dominant force for the Cowboys' defense since entering the NFL in 2021, is regarded as one of the most complete players in the league. With 12 sacks, 12 tackles for loss, and 23 QB hits in just 13 games during the 2024 season, Parsons once again proved why he is one of the NFL's biggest defensive stars. However, the Cowboys now face a major dilemma. Are they willing to commit a significant portion of their budget to retain him, or would they rather trade him to strengthen multiple areas of their roster? For the Steelers, this situation presents a golden opportunity. Pittsburgh has built its historic success on dominant defense, and with key players like Cameron Hayward and TJ Watt approaching the later stages of their prime, the chance to add a generational talent like Parsons couldn't come at a better time. Additionally, Pittsburgh holds a special connection for Parsons, as the star linebacker was born in Pennsylvania, making a potential homecoming even more appealing. Parsons' impact on the Steelers' defense would be immediate. His explosiveness, speed, and ability to pressure quarterbacks make him a constant threat on the field. With him in the lineup, Pittsburgh could have one of the most feared defenses in the league and immediately compete with top-tier AFC teams. But the big question remains, at what cost? To acquire Parsons, the Steelers would likely need to part ways with a significant amount of assets. A trade of this magnitude would probably require multiple first-round draft picks, key players, and potentially additional mid- to late-round selections. The Steelers' front office must weigh whether such a move is sustainable long-term and if the investment would be worth it. Opinions among the Steelers community are divided. On one hand, some believe Parsons is the type of player worth mortgaging the future for, arguing that with him, Pittsburgh could return to Super Bowl contention in no time. Others, however, worry that giving up multiple draft picks and young talent could leave the franchise without the depth needed to remain competitive in the long run. Throughout their history, the Steelers have been known for their conservative approach to trades, preferring to build through the draft and player development. But in recent years, the league has changed, with teams like the Rams and 49ers making aggressive moves to acquire elite talent. Could Pittsburgh be tempted to shift its strategy to stay in the race? Could this trade actually happen? It's hard to say for sure, but one thing is certain, Parsons would likely be interested in playing for the Steelers. In the past, he has hinted at a desire to return to Pennsylvania and joining a defense featuring stars like Watt, Micah Fitzpatrick, and Alex Highsmith could be an opportunity too good to pass up. Now, the big question is what the Cowboys will decide. If Dallas is truly considering moving Parsons, more teams will likely enter the bidding war, potentially driving up the acquisition price even further. However, if the Steelers act quickly and present a compelling offer, they could land one of the biggest defensive superstars in the league before another team beats them to it. Steelers fans are eager to see what happens in the coming weeks. Will this be the move that propels Pittsburgh back to the top of the AFC? Or is it just another offseason rumor that will fade away? One thing is for sure, the NFL offseason continues to prove that anything can happen. And now we want to hear from you. Do you think the Steelers should go all in to acquire Micah Parsons? Or would the price be too steep? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more updates on this and other NFL news. See you in the next video.